If you'd rather fight a bear than attend a crowded concert, relax. Your brain didn't panic. It calculated. And it decided that chaos, noise, and social overstimulation were simply not worth the cost. That doesn't make you antisocial. It makes you psychologically observant in a world that rewards distraction. Picture this. It's Saturday night. Your phone buzzes. Hey, we're all meeting at that new downtown place. It's super packed, but the vibe is amazing. And instantly, something inside you shuts down. Not because you hate fun. Not because you're anxious. But because your brain just ran a full cost-benefit analysis and concluded, bankruptcy. You're not broken. You're not boring. And you're definitely not the problem. Your psychology is just playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Let's talk about what's actually happening in that beautifully complicated brain of yours. First, your brain has absolutely zero chill. And that's not a flaw. That's a feature. Most people's brains come with a built-in spam filter. They walk into a crowd and automatically delete 90% of the input. Ignore that laugh. Ignore that flashing light. Ignore the 20 conversations happening at once. Your brain. It screenshots everything. Every sound. Every movement. Every microexpression that flashes across a stranger's face for half a second. Psychologists call this sensory processing sensitivity, which is a polite scientific way of saying your brain notices everything and refuses to let any of it go. While others experience life in 480p, you're stuck with an 8K IMAX experience you never asked for. Research shows that about 20% of the population has this heightened sensitivity. 1 in 5 people walking around with a nervous system permanently set to maximum awareness. And here's what makes it even more intense. Your brain doesn't just collect this information. It stores it, categorizes it, and references it later. That awkward interaction from 3 weeks ago that no one else remembers. Your brain filed it under possibly relevant and keeps pulling it up for review. That's not overthinking. That's pattern recognition doing its job. This trait didn't evolve by accident. Thousands of years ago, while the extroverts were vibing around the campfire, your ancestors were the ones who noticed the predator approaching. Who spotted the poisonous plant. Who sensed danger before it arrived. You're not too much. You're exactly what survival needed. But modern society? Yeah, it wasn't designed for people who actually pay attention. Second, you're not antisocial. You're anti-BS. Let's clear this up. You don't hate people. You hate performance. Crowds are exhausting because everyone's wearing a mask. The "I'm having so much fun" mask. The "I'm totally listening" mask. The "I'm fine, everything's fine" mask, while their eye is literally twitching. And you can see through all of it. Not because you're judgmental, but because your brain is constantly translating the real conversation happening underneath the words. Body language. Energy shifts. Emotions no one is admitting out loud. Psychologists call this high perceptual sensitivity. Your emotional radar is so finely tuned, you're basically a human lie detector who never applied for the job. A study from Cambridge University found that people who prefer solitude often score significantly higher in emotional intelligence than their crowd-loving counterparts. Translation. You're not socially awkward. You're socially sophisticated. You'd rather have one honest conversation at 3 a.m. than attend 50 networking events where everyone's performing their highlight reel. And that's not a flaw. That's integrity. Small talk doesn't drain you because you can't do it. It drains you because your brain experiences it like chewing cardboard while everyone else pretends it's a 5-star meal. Your nervous system craves substance, depth, real connection. Third, your dopamine system simply said, "Nah, I'm good." Here's where neuroscience gets interesting. When extroverts walk into a party, their brains throw a dopamine parade. Fireworks. Confetti. Instant reward. Your brain. Crickets. Instead of dopamine, your system runs more heavily on acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter linked to introspection, deep focus, and, yes, being alone. Your brain doesn't get its high from stimulation. It gets it from space. Reading a book at midnight. Taking a solo walk where no one asks you questions. Sitting quietly and letting your thoughts connect. Neuroscientists have found that introverted brains often have thicker gray matter in the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for complex thinking, planning, and self-reflection. So when it looks like you're doing nothing, your brain is doing everything. Processing. Connecting. Creating. You're composing symphonies in your head while everyone else is listening to elevator music. Fourth, you're basically an emotional Wi-Fi router.
Next,
Ever walk into a room and instantly know something's wrong, even though everyone's smiling? That's not intuition. That's mirror neurons on steroids. You don't just observe emotions. You absorb them. Spend 2 hours in a crowd and you're not just managing your own feelings. You're accidentally downloading everyone else's stress, anxiety, excitement, and chaos. Your nervous system is trying to process the emotional data of hundreds of people while also remembering to breathe. No wonder you need 3 business days to recover from a 2-hour event. But here's the twist. This makes you incredibly emotionally intelligent. You read between the lines. You sense what people need before they say it. You understand emotions most people haven't even named yet. That's not a curse. That's a gift most people would break under. And finally, you're not running from life. You're running toward yourself. Society has this obsession with equating loud and busy with successful and happy. If you're not everywhere, posting constantly, surrounded by people 24/7, something must be wrong with you. But you figured out something most people spend decades avoiding. Silence isn't empty. It's where clarity lives. Solitude isn't loneliness. It's where you actually meet yourself. You're not missing out. You're opting out of systems that were never built for minds that think deeply, feel deeply, and see deeply. The quietest rooms often hold the loudest truths. Your peace isn't isolation. It's liberation. So the next time someone asks, why don't you go out more? Just remember, they're really asking why you don't drain yourself to fit into spaces that were never designed for you. You're not broken. You're not boring. You're not antisocial. You're built for depth in a world obsessed with noise. And honestly, that's exactly what makes you fascinating. So tell me, are you team crowds give me life? Or team I'd rather befriend a cactus? Drop it in the comments. And if this hit a little too close to home, subscribe. The next video breaks down another introvert trait most people completely misunderstand, and it's going to feel uncomfortable.